When people talk about Africa, certain countries often dominate the conversation. But in the heart of West Africa lies a nation that is frequently misunderstood, overlooked, or simplified. That country is Burkina Faso. It is a landlocked nation with deep history, strong cultural identity, political transformation, and significant economic challenges, yet also resilience and pride. Today, we are going to explore 20 important things you should know about Burkina Faso so that by the end of this video, you will understand the country far beyond headlines and stereotypes. Let's begin. 1. The meaning of the name Burkina Faso was not always called that. During French colonial rule, it was known as Upper Volta, named after the Volta River basin. In 1984, President Thomas Sankara changed the name to Burkina Faso. Burkina comes from the Moor language meaning upright or honest. Faso comes from the Dula language meaning fatherland or homeland. Together the name translates to land of upright people. This was not just a name change, it was a statement of identity and independence. 2. It is landlocked. Burkina Faso has no coastline. It is bordered by Mali, Niger, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Côte d'Ivoire. Being landlocked affects trade and development. The country depends on neighboring ports for imports and exports. This increases transportation costs and slows economic growth. Despite this challenge, Burkina Faso has maintained strong regional trade relationships within West Africa. 3. The capital city, Ouagadougou. The capital city is Ouagadougou, often shortened to Ouaga. It serves as the political and administrative center of the country. Ouagadougou is also the cultural heart of Burkina Faso. It hosts major festivals, government institutions, universities, and national museums. Understanding Ouagadougou helps you understand the country's political and cultural direction. For a major cultural hub, FESPACO, Burkina Faso hosts one of Africa's most important film festivals. FESPACO Pan-African Film and Television Festival of Ouagadougou is held every 2 years. Filmmakers from across Africa gather to showcase films, discuss storytelling, and celebrate African cinema. Because of this, Burkina Faso is sometimes called the capital of African cinema. 5. Colonial history and independence. France colonized the territory in the late 19th century. Like many African nations, the borders of Burkina Faso were drawn during colonial rule without considering ethnic and cultural boundaries. The country gained independence from France in 1960. However, French influence remains visible today, especially in language, education systems, and administration. French is still the official language. 6. Ethnic diversity. Burkina Faso is home to more than 60 ethnic groups. The largest group is the Mossi, who historically formed powerful kingdoms before colonial rule. Other groups include the Fulani, Gormanche, Bobo, and Lobi. Each group has distinct traditions, languages, and cultural practices. This diversity contributes to a rich cultural landscape. 7. A history of political instability. Since independence, Burkina Faso has experienced multiple coups. Political instability has shaped much of its modern history. Frequent military interventions reflect struggles over governance, economic challenges, and national direction. Understanding Burkina Faso requires understanding this history of political change. 8. Thomas Sankara's leadership. In 1983, Thomas Sankara came to power through a military coup. His leadership focused on reducing corruption, promoting self-sufficiency, encouraging local production, empowering women, fighting poverty. He refused foreign aid that he believed created dependency. Sankara remains one of Africa's most discussed revolutionary leaders. 9. His assassination. In 1987, Thomas Sankara was killed during a coup led by his former ally Blaise Compaoré. Compaoré ruled the country for 27 years. Sankara's assassination deeply impacted national politics and remains a significant part of the country's historical memory. 10. The 2014 popular uprising. In 2014, after nearly 3 decades in power, Blaise Compaoré attempted to extend his presidency. Mass protests erupted. Citizens filled the streets demanding change. Compaoré eventually resigned and left the country. This event demonstrated the power of civic action. 11. Gold production. Burkina Faso is one of Africa's leading gold producers. Gold mining has become the backbone of the economy. However, challenges include environmental damage, informal mining operations, unequal distribution of wealth. The mining sector plays a major role in government revenue. 12. Agriculture and rural life. Most of the population depends on agriculture. Farmers grow cotton, maize, millet, sorghum. Agriculture is heavily dependent on rainfall. Droughts and irregular weather patterns significantly affect food security. 13. Climate and geography. Burkina Faso lies in the Sahel region, a semi-arid zone south of the Sahara Desert. The country experiences a dry season, a short rainy season. Desertification and soil degradation are major environmental challenges. 14. Security challenges. In recent years, Burkina Faso has faced increasing security threats from armed groups operating in the Sahel. These conflicts have displaced many communities and affected schools, markets, and rural areas. Security has become one of the country's most urgent priorities. 15. Recent military takeovers. Since 2022, Burkina Faso has experienced additional military transitions of power. These changes reflect frustration over security management and governance. The political landscape remains dynamic. 16. A young population. Burkina Faso has a very young population. A majority of citizens are under 25 years old. This creates both opportunity and pressure, especially in education, employment, and economic development. 17. Education and literacy. Education access has improved over the years, but literacy rates remain a challenge, particularly in rural areas. Government and international programs continue working to expand access to schools. 18. Traditional textiles. Faso Donfani is a traditional woven fabric that symbolizes national pride. Under Thomas Sankara, wearing locally produced fabric was strongly encouraged to promote economic independence. Today, it remains a cultural symbol. 19. Strong community culture. Community life is central in Burkina Faso. Family ties, extended kinship networks, and traditional leadership systems remain important. Festivals, music, storytelling, and ceremonies play key roles in social life. 20. A nation at a crossroads. Burkina Faso faces economic, political, and security challenges. Yet it also holds a strong cultural identity, a young population, natural resources, regional influence. Its future will depend on stability, governance, and development strategies. Conclusion. Burkina Faso is more than news headlines. It is a nation shaped by colonial history, revolutionary ideals, civic uprisings, cultural pride, and ongoing transformation. Understanding Burkina Faso requires looking beyond surface-level narratives and recognizing its complexity. Now that you know these 20 key facts, you have a deeper perspective on one of West Africa's most important nations. If you found this educational, consider subscribing for more in-depth African country documentaries. And let me know in the comments, what topic about Burkina Faso should we explore next?